up, though? What is up, though? Yo, here we go. Back with another episode of Mask Off, episode 183. Not again, man. There's a lot of things going, as it always is in the news. But before we get into any of that, welcome to another episode of Mask Off. I'm your host, one of the hosts, Mask Off Malachi. To the left of me, your right, however you looking and laying at it, it's my man, Mask Off Big Tone. What's the deal?
What's the deal, baby? How you feel? What's shaking? Bacon.
Man, you know me, in the cut, feeling good, vibing out. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing well, man. My internet is trying to annoy me, but it won't destroy me. You feel me? So yeah, I gotta get that situated and settled. Yeah. I'm probably choppy right now, ain't I?
Yeah. You coming in choppy. Chop through it. But it's all good, though. Man? You know what I mean? We going to do what we going to do. I feel great. I feel wonderful. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to get it, man. Just trying to get it, man. The best way we can. You know, it took a blessing to get to this day. You know, Monday to Friday, it's a struggle sometimes. And so it's always good when you can get through the week, man. You know. So Absolutely. I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go.
Absolutely, man. Same here. It's been a week, you know, them getting through them weeks be the ones. Always looking forward to Friday, man. So I'm glad it's Friday and we with another episode. So let's get right into it. Let's get it cracking. You know how we kick it off? With that motivational minute. Today's motivational minute, man, is despite it all, you might be coming through choppy. You might be coming through chopped and screwed, but as long as you come through, you got to make it do what it do. Man, as I always say, man, life is going to come with that adversity. Life going to come making noise on you. It's going to come stretching you, pulling you apart. It's going to come with the guilt, with the shame, with all that. But through it all, get through it. You can do it. And it's not just a cliche, man. It's if you want to accomplish something, once you set out your mind to do something, just know what come with that. The fire gonna come with that. The rain gonna come with that. The earthquake, the storm. But get you battle tested. You proven to get through that storm. Proven you made for it. You built for it. And if you're not, once you endure this storm and you get to the other side, then you'll be made for it. So mask off minute, man. Just go. Don't stop. Just like me, man. I was very frustrated with this internet. But I said, no, we're going to do this episode. We're going to make it happen. So that's your mask off minute, man. Make it happen, Captain.
So, yeah, because things get in the way of what you got going on, you have to find that takes you out. But you can't let it take you out. You know what I mean? You got to stay the course. Do what you got to do. You got to find a way to persevere over adversity. You know what I mean? So, and you know what life does, man. And I try to tell my son, I try to tell all my kids, man, like, yo, things are not going to always be your way. Things are not going to always go in the way you expect them to go. But you always have to plan for plan A, plan B, C, D, E, and F nowadays because you know, you just gotta be able to shift. You know what I mean? And when you shift, you gotta be able to shift again. And that's just the way life works. You know what I mean? If you prepare, you what does it say? It's better to be ready, stay ready instead of being ready, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yep, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That means you always what? Ahead of the game.
Ready.
You know, so that's one big thing about it, man. Being ahead of the game can get you so far in life.
That's what it is. That's what it is, man. Yeah, you gotta stay the course, man. I love that, and instilling that in your children is important, and instilling in ourselves. Sometimes we forget, we forget what come with this game, the adversity. Like just know, it's make you stronger. It's the storms are meant to make you stronger. That's exactly what it's for. So, Danny Love said, "Don't surrender." Shout out to my beautiful wife coming through with the hearts.
Okay.
Don't surrender.
No
You cannot
retreat. Never surrender. Don't surrender.
Like in the words of one of my good rappers, Gucci Mane, he said, "I bend, I don't break." Yep. So that's what.
You a Gucci Mane fan?
I am. Yeah. I've been a Gucci Mane fan since I'm a real Gucci Mane fan, like before he was transformed. But the new Gucci is
I don't even know what that
but
means.
I like huh?
I don't even know what that means. Transform.
So what it means is that when he went to prison and he came back, he was a whole different person. He looks different. He lost a lot of weight, and some people believe him to be cloned.
Oh wow.
Or cloned or re-imaged, as in someone else is playing him. Yeah. So my internet is probably going bad, so we're gonna get through the best we can with this. I don't want to not do this, so let's keep going. Sports talk. It's a new thing we're adding to our game here. As y'all know, it's the NBA playoffs. We're just gonna hit this real quick and keep it moving. It's the NBA playoffs, man. The Timberwolves are currently advanced in the Western Conference Finals. That was a surprise to me. Steph Curry was injured with a grade 1 hamstring injury, so he was out for the series. So the Timberwolves advanced. With a healthy Curry, it would have been a different story, but you can only do what you can do. Buddy Hield and Jimmy Butler pretty much disappeared once Steph Curry was injured. Proving that I saw a meme that said they were supposed to be Robin and Alfred to Steph Curry's Batman, but they proved to be regular Gotham citizens. I thought that was hilarious because I agree. OKC and the Nuggets are playing Game 7, I believe, tonight, if not tomorrow. Which I called the Nuggets to win. You said OKC was gonna do it, but now we had Game 7. Game 7, I'm definitely going with the Nuggets because of experience, and that was my pick for them, was their championship experience. OKC still young. They don't know how to. Yeah, we'll see what happened though. On the East, you got the Knicks and the Pacers. Eastern Conference Finals is set, so it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be cool to see what happens on both sides, man.
It's not set. It's not set. The Knicks supposed to try to close out the night.
Yeah, Knicks play tonight. I spoke too soon. The Celtics forced Game 6, which was a shock to me. But without Jason Tatum, I don't think that the supporting cast of Boston will duplicate the performance they did in Game 6. And Jalen Brunson won't foul out either. So,
you know what's crazy about that? Crazy part about that is Jason Tatum supposed to be the MVP, but everybody got eyes on Brown. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Brown, where the hell he been all year? No one's talked about him all year. You know what I mean? It's been on Tatum this year, and Tatum, he out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really feel like the Timberwolves, it's their time. It's time for the Timberwolves and OKC to stand up. The Warriors, once Clay left, it was going to decline city. You know what I mean? Because you cannot have Clay when you got Steph, and you cannot have Steph when you got Clay. they got to be on the court. And the only way that three-headed monster work is for Draymond to be pushing and kicking to either them two guys. It didn't matter if you had two other people on the floor as long as you got them three. You know what I'm saying? Because them three was going to work together. You know what I mean? But if Draymond just coming down and he looking for Steph, and Steph doing all this stuff, he ain't throwing no ball at nobody else. You know what I mean? Because he don't got nobody else to throw it. I don't care what people say. I've never liked Jimmy Butler's game. You know, and I feel like, you know, he put himself in positions to where he's the man, but he does not show up when he needs to show up. You know what I mean? And who else? They had Kuminga, and his name Kuminga or something like that.
Kuminga, yeah.
Kuminga. So they talking about this supposed to be the offseason, and I've been looking at a lot of blogs where they talking about they want the Pistons to lobby to get this guy. I said, no, they don't. We don't need him. Kuminga? Yeah, we don't need him. No. We need a 4. We need a stretch 4, but that's not our 4 we need. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. You know?
Yeah. I have been a fan of Jimmy Butler, and I felt like he was the perfect 2-punch to Steph's 1-punch. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Steph got injured. Yeah, I think it's a whole different, because we saw what happened in that first series. I mean, first of all, Houston should not have gone 7 games with the Warriors. So it was already looking shaky off that. But to each his own. And it might be over for Steph. He an OG now. So dealing with an injury like that, yeah, he going to come back. But is he going to win another ring? Probably not. Especially these young bulls are here. Like OKC has arrived. SGA over there. You got my man Anthony Edwards. Like these new young players can't even make the playoffs.
And I'll be honest, I don't like none of these games. I don't like none of these games.
Cooked.
What you saying?
I said the bet's cooked now, man. It's over.
And the crazy thing about that is Steph been in the league for what, 15, 16 years. Durant been in the league for like the same thing. It's like we just watch these guys and just always rely on them to be in a game. Durant, Steph, even Draymond, Clay. These guys been here for a long time, over 10 years span. You know what I mean? Over 10 years. So it's been time for them to go. You know what I mean? What it used to be. It used to be an 8-year span for a vet. You know what I mean? Now vets have increased. Their numbers have increased a lot to be
10, to be
in a game now. Like, yo, it's time for you to go. And you know, if they pushing them out, I just don't like I don't like a lot of their game though. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I'm hoping Indiana, that's the best team that I see, East and West. You know what I mean? Indiana. And I say that because they got a legitimate front court and they got a legitimate down low. You know what I mean? So a back court and front court, it's legitimate. You know what I mean? I may not know everybody on the team, but I know you got Samaka and you got I'm butchering names today. Samaka and Turner down there. And them 2 7-feet guys. You got one playing. That's the kind of 4 we need. A 4-man that can stretch the floor like Simaka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him Bianca Batuka. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Kuda Matata.
That's a lot of Baba. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I agree. Indiana looks good, man. They came out of nowhere. I didn't think they was gonna make it noise the way they was. You know, but a very long time. I don't know if this was early or not, but yeah, it's a new league, man, and I like to see it. I'm hurt as well because I'm such a LeBron fan. Seeing him go out in the first round, But seeing that it's a new league, seeing Anthony Edwards is not playing with nobody. He beat KD last year. He beat LeBron this year. He beat Steph, although he was injured, still beat the Warriors. Like he just collecting these OG Infinity Stones. Like he beat the Nuggets, I think, last year too in the playoffs. So this man is just on a tear. He's on a tear, and he does not care. He's not scared of nobody. Usually, you should show respect, but also come for their throat, as he should. Pause. He should be doing that. Pause. So I love to see it, man. My pick now is I think the Wolves will advance, and I think Indiana will advance. I think a Wolves Pacers finals would be something different for the league, and I'm here for it. I think the league will push for. If Boston don't, cough up again and make something shake, but yeah, we'll see.
I think one of the toughest things to do is get past New York on the surge that they are on right now. So if anything, Indiana, New York is a good homage to the 90s. You know what I mean? Because it used to be Indiana, New York all the time. Reggie Miller versus Patrick Ewing and John Starks. So we'll see with these two teams. You know what I mean? Like the Celtics is out of here. You know what I mean? We see that. Who else? Celtics and who the other team play? It's Indiana already in it, right? They're already set, right?
Yeah, so, they took care of the Cavs in 5, which was crazy. Cavs had a number one record in the league.
I didn't never see the Cavs doing nothing, man. I really didn't.
I thought so. I thought they was at least gonna get to the Eastern Finals.
Nope, didn't see that at all. I didn't see that at all. You know what I mean?
New York is gonna win.
Slow it down, Danny.
They're gonna win. They'll win against Boston for sure. But that's gonna be a great series. Indiana and New York. That will be a great series. I have to take my love for the Pistons out of it to be able to watch that series because they beat Detroit. I can't commend that. You feel me? But I'm excited. It's a new era, and we'll see what happens with this Game 7. Jokic and Murray, they got that experience. That Game 7, they ready. They built for moments like that.
But you know what though? They just fired the head coach, right?
Fired him before the playoffs started. Yeah.
The head coach got fired in the playoffs. So that's a lot, bro. That's major. When we're running for a chip and the head coach get fired, and then you bring in Timmy Waterboy Johnson, and we never look for you for no answers. Now we got to look for you for some answers. Who's the player coach on the team? You know what I'm saying? And right. which normally happens. You go through the star, which we Jokic, right? But that management, that coach aspect where you manage the players, that's a different ball game, man. I see OKC taking this with them, bro. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm hoping they really take it because they still got a solid core. Everybody, they don't want a core. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They're a dope young team for sure. I just don't think it's time yet. I think this would be great experience for them, but I feel like it's actually going to probably be an overwhelming win in favor of the Nuggets because of just inexperience. That's all. Like that, you just young. There's certain things you just got to learn being a young team like that. The Nuggets are a championship team. They won within the last 3 years. And
I was going to say, even if they win, I just don't see them going to another round. And they just did a 7-game series. They not doing that with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves getting them out of here, bro.
I think Minnesota has the best chance to advance to the finals. Whoever comes out of this series, going to see Minnesota and Minnesota take care of business. Minnesota is rolling. they've taken care of every series in 5 so far, both series in 5, I believe. Or if I think it was 6 for the Warriors. No, I think it was 5 with the Warriors, 5 or 6. Either way, yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, and people love Nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, for real. So real quick with the draft, Lions had a draft pick. I'm not too clear on who they picked. You know who they picked?
Not offhand.
A defensive end, I think we picked.
Not offhand, I know, but I know I was really caught up with my Steelers and what decisions they was making, which were a bunch of stupid ass decisions. They really feel like they really trying to invest with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers. They're trying to court Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is old as shit. He need to go sit down. They let Justin Fields go, and they let the one boy Russell Wilson go, and they like, hey, come here. We love you.
Why would you get rid of Justin Fields? I can see Westbrook. I can't see it, but I can see it more than Justin Fields. You need somebody young to build with. You need a young quarterback to build with. You don't need to bring in some old head.
You know what? And I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying they must have saw something that nobody knows about. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
God. Exactly.
Why do we give these people this much credit? If you're making a stupid decision is a stupid decision. You know, they saw some things in him that no one knows about.
Yeah. Now I am excited for the Lions season this year. We had an unexpected, quick turn of events in losing last year against Washington. The new schedule has been released. And we got we got a tough schedule for real, but we got some key big games. I think game 1 opens up in Green Bay.
I don't know. That's tough, bro.
It's gonna be tough. But I think we'll come out with that win. Also, I think we played the Green Bay and yeah, at week 1 in Green Bay, game this year against the Vikings. That's gonna be cool. And Thanksgiving Day, we play Green Bay again. But it's gonna be tough, man. Overall, we play the Bears, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Vikings twice, Green Bay twice. So we'll see, man. But I'm excited.
We played them twice. You know we played them twice because that's our division, right?
I know that for sure. Yeah, the Bears twice. Yeah, of course. Green. Everybody in our division we play twice. Yeah. Bears, the Vikings, and the Packers. So, is
yeah. You ready?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my internet's definitely tripping. So let's keep it moving.
Let's go.
It's so annoying. Okay. It's been some tragic events happen in the news lately. Which is nothing new. Mask off isn't new to this. Speak on it today, and we've spoke on it so many times, but we're not gonna stop, And after we bring up these topics, the main question is, what do we do? And we always talk about this as well, but just continuing to use our platform as a means of change. We got to keep trying it. We got to keep saying it. We got to keep doing it. So that's what Mask Off is here. We take that mask off and we reveal the truth. We talk about what needs to be talked about on a consistent basis. So we're gonna hit them heavy, man. So I'm gonna start with this one article. For those that may or may not know, Nazia Harris was a young girl that late last year she had went missing and was found. So Nazia Harris, 13, was last seen getting off a bus in Detroit on January 9th, 2024. After that day, her social media accounts, she stopped school. She was communicating with 24-year-old Jarvis Butts that day. Butts allegedly groomed Harris for several years. Butts is accused of killing Harris after impregnating her. So this is a young girl. She's 13 years old, and they said that he's been grooming her since 2022. So that's, for her, that would have been 11. 11 years old. He had her drink antifreeze before her death to try to get rid of the pregnancy as well. Authorities have searched numerous areas in the city around much Detroit with no success. They found her body, but there was no evidence to find exactly what happened. So this whole thing of the grooming aspect, that's what bothers me the most with this. I mean, the whole situation is upsetting, but it's this culture of lack of protection that we have in our society when it comes to mothers and their children and outside influences. Certain people should not be able to get so close to your children, and that's where the problem starts. That's where the problem starts. So we just want to bring some quick awareness to this. Go ahead.
I want to say, I think we should start really putting pedophilia in its proper perspective. I don't think a lot of mainstream people, especially on the Caucasian side of the game, they've been trying to advocate to try to make pedophilia to be some type of sickness or an illness. In all actuality, pedophilia, it should be looked, in my perspective, like murder. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because you are taking the essence of a kid and destroying it. And that kid is forever tarnished. If this young lady would have survived after drinking antifreeze, she would have forever been reliving the trauma of dealing with somebody that forced her to continuously, or not even forced her, but influenced her to do things that she didn't necessarily would like to do. A lot of these cases, these kids be looking for a mentor, someone to look up to. And then what these pedophiles do, they make them fall victim to their own sick behavior. And it's not cool. So that's why I say it should be looked as murder. You know what I mean? Like, if you get tried and you get in a position where you get locked up, that should be on the table. It shouldn't be you go do a program, you come out in 5 or 6 years. No, you in there for some 20 or 30, till you die.
Yeah,
that's
it
how
should start at 20. Yeah, I totally agree. And the overlining blanket that it's a mental illness. Yeah, something is mentally wrong with you, but regardless, you need to be held accountable for your actions. Again, like you said, that essence, that innocence. Children, we need to protect our children more, and it starts with that. It starts with the punishment, like you said, of these crimes, of these men that are doing this, because the whole truth is that there are so many other women that are willing to have casual sex if that's what you want. But the way you thinking and doing it and destroying these young women in this way is. There's no place for you in society. You don't belong in society. You really don't. And we got to do a better job as men generally of speaking up, what you got going on, man? Because somewhere down the line, there was so many miscues, so many red flags that was ignored in this. One, whoever his homeboys is, you know what I'm saying? Whoever his parents are, how he was raised. Then you got the child, her parents, like the amount of access that was given and freedom that was given as a child to be able to go and do, to even be in contact with this man like that. You know, so we have to do a better job as a community, as a family, to protect our children. As y'all know, I mentor young boys, and one of the lessons I give them is that now that they're getting older and they're allowed to go out into the streets, into the community more, it's up to you to make better choices while you out here, because it's so easy to get involved. Once you get a bike and you 11, 12, 13, it'd be over. You feel me? You could just hit the streets. You can go almost wherever with a bike. I remember when I was growing up, I had my bike and I would go visit my homeboy, looking up how far that was. Now that was 5 miles away. You feel me? But it wasn't nothing to me. I'm on the bike, bam. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not doing nothing bad. But the whole point is that these children are given too much freedom these days. You know, we already have social media. We already have in touch with everybody so quick. Everything is instant gratification. So it's certain things down the line that have to be monitored so that things like this don't happen.
You know what though, man? On the flip side, you know, I believe that like some of these kids have a lot of freedom, but with that, what I've experienced that when you close a lot of doors for a kid, it puts them in a position where they become green to a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And I have to say that some of my own kids, they're green to a lot of things. Like you could tell them like, watch out for this, watch out for that. But they don't know a lot of stuff because they haven't been exposed to it. You know what I mean? Like if they had a party and a fight break out, unfortunately, the kids today, because they so green, they running toward the fight. Like we got trained in the field. Somebody starts shooting, you duck, you get out of there. Matter of fact, somebody start arguing, it's time to skate. It's over. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you know what comes next. And
that temperature shift. Yeah,
that temperature shift. And I think that it's we border a thin line because it's no real way to raise a kid. It's no real
right.
It's no directions on how to maneuver with kids so they can have the perfect kid, because no kid is perfect. But it's like, you know, we need to be, it's hard to say we need to be this way or you need to do this when in actuality, all you could do is you bending and flexing. You flexing and bending with a kid because you never know what they pick up on, bro.
That's facts. That's a good point, man. That's a great point. You know, you're right. We can only do so much, but we got to do more at the same time, you know.
Which I totally
another
agree.
One.
Hold on, right quick. Which I totally agree. And you made a point about men need to do more. You know what I mean? I think as far as men doing more, we need to start holding these motherfuckers accountable. We need to start bringing them out, exposing them, and not just exposing them, but fucking them up. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be retribution, because once they get into the law hands, it turns into the law's game. No, it needs to be. You need to be made an example of. You know what I'm saying? You want to pump boys in the booty? Take this broomstick and get your pump on. You know what I mean? And yeah, it may sound a little crazy what I'm saying, but I'm like, yo, the best way you learn is through experience. Oh, you doing this to somebody? How you like it done to you? You know what I mean? And that goes for that grooming stuff. Like it needs to be more men. Men need to stand up and be men. That's the problem. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is it's not a lot of upstanding men around no more. You know what I mean? And I worked at Vista Maria. And Vista Maria is a facility, all girls facility. And I had to always check dudes about how they step around these young girls who are looking at them very impressionable. You know what I mean? No. Why are you taking 2 girls downstairs by yourself, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing? No.
What you want?
She can say you did something, and she can be a witness to say you did something. You have to really think about what you're doing.
Facts.
And people have gotten caught up in the mix like that because they feel like whatever. And I've seen dudes who just nasty.
Yeah.
Who just they out here like that.
Freak boys, yeah.
You sending girls messages telling them when you go on your home pass, meet me at such and such. And we're gonna go to the hotel. Weird behavior. Like who does that? And if you see it, beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like I think it needs to be when you say accountability, that's the type of accountability needs to be had. Drug your ass on the middle of the street and fucking put a bunch of rocks up your booty where you can't plug nobody.
Yeah. Great points. It's there's this organization I've seen online where I don't know if it's an organization, it's some guys they got together and they trap like kind of like you remember Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator? I used to love watching that show. So this is like the hood version. It's like the hood version of it. They make these fake pages online of a little girl, a little boy, or whatever. Message these guys, set up a meetup, and then when they get there, they on their head, they on their top piece. Now it ain't diplomatic like Chris Hansen was.
I think I saw that on TikTok. I think it was an Arabic boy. And they was coming at the Arabic boy and in the comments about why is he always going in the hood and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, if that's there, let him get it. You know what I mean? Let him get it. You know what I'm saying? Let him get them all. You know what I mean? But you know, I seen that boy and he Arabic, right?
I think he was, yep.
And he punched the shit out of some dude. Oh, you like little boys, right? Fuck. Yep. I'm on that type of time.
Mm-hmm.
I fucks with that time.
All right, so I'm gonna mention this all day. So I'm gonna mention this last article, and we're gonna get up out of here because my internet is failing me today. London Thomas, the family of a 17-year-old London Thomas is mourning after Detroit teen's body was found over the weekend, 3 weeks after she was reported missing. Thomas was last seen on April 5th when she was dropped off at her 23-year-old boyfriend's house in Inkster. Michigan police say her body was found Saturday evening near Southfield near 8 Mile and Telegraph Roads. No one seems to know how it got there. Neighbors say they watched as police discovered Thomas' body inside the white SUV parked in the neighbor's driveway. They said the SUV had been parked there for 2 weeks. So let's start with the fact of she was last seen after being dropped off at her 23-year-old boyfriend's house. As a 17-year-old, you are a minor. After 18, you're technically an adult. So this grown man, 23-year-old man, dating in a relationship with a 17-year-old girl, it starts there. It starts with that mindset. One, why are you okay with that? Why your people okay with that? Why your boys okay with that? Like, ain't nobody around you checking you on that? Like, bro, she too young, fam. You need to. 2, why is she being dropped off there? Who's failing her in that aspect that she's being dropped off to be put in a position like this? When I was growing up, it's where you going, who gonna be there, you know what I'm saying? What's their number? After all that vexing process, then it's okay, go ahead. But we missing in the game. Go ahead.
You went to Detroit public schools, right?
For middle school, yeah, elementary and middle school.
So do you remember what the school system was set up? The school system that I recall was set up where all the kids that worked on a efficient playing field, they had classes on the third level and the second level, right? And all the kids that had struggle, IEPs, and they struggled and they looked weird and they act weird, they was under the stairs. So what they'll do is they would hang out on the lower area and try to act like everybody else. And then when the bell ring, they'll slip and go up in a classroom that was off to the side under the stairs. What we have today in today's generation, in today's society, we have a lot of those people who were in those classrooms. They're out now and they're exposed. You know what I mean? And what I mean by exposed is they get record deals. You know what I mean? They Louis Uzi Vert, you know what I mean? Gucci Mane, all these people that was in these slow classes, they are now at the forefront. So you gotta remember what we allow to nowadays. Like you can have a conversation with somebody and you can know this is the weirdest ass conversation I'm having, but it's perfectly okay with not only somebody next to you, but somebody next to that person, because we have been dummied down and we continue to dummy down things that are not okay. Hence this conversation. So you got to know that if you are 19, 20 years old and you talking to somebody 17, 16, 15, you got to know that your level of communication is on a grade level. You know what I mean? And yeah, physically, a person can look 19. Mentally, they can be 11, 12 years old. I think nowadays we are stuck in that realm where you physically look like something, but mentally you're completely different.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great point.
It's hard to go, why his homeboys ain't saying nothing. You gotta remember his homeboys probably her age. You know what I mean? His homeboys probably same age as her or younger. You know what I mean? You find that nowadays because not even mental illness, but the level of maturity or the level of comprehension is different nowadays. Like if you understand things clearly, Malachi, and you comprehend what I'm saying to you, we are becoming relics in today's society because we know English, we know math, we know science, we know history. We know these things. We studied these things. We know how to study. We know how to process. This day and age, this generation, they don't process the same way. They don't think the same way. And you got to remember, too, they are being meshed together in today's culture. So if you got somebody that don't supposed to be in your classroom and this nigga look like he 20, How do you relate to that? You know what I mean? You only looking at the physicality. You know what I mean? You got a girl in your classroom. She stacked. She looked like she ready to have kids. Now she got a fat ass. She really 20, but she in an 11th grade course. You know what I mean? Like, make that shit make sense. Remember, what they originally started doing is putting all these kids in these alternative schools because of their behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After everything started cracking up with the Detroit public schools, they start shaking them down. They start putting them in alternative schools because, their behaviors was crazy, or and a lot of the behaviors, is based around what they can and can't do. If you can't think straight and you can't focus in a classroom without running a fight or this bitch dad and all this shit, they move you to the alternative school. And then, like I said, you 13, but you stack like a woman. You know what I'm saying? You in a classroom with a guy that's 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these are scenarios I'm making, but these are real life experiences too. It makes you think, and it made me think about what you said, like, why ain't nobody check this thing? Well, we living in a different society where age, it goes out the window. You know what I mean? Until something catastrophic takes place. You know what I mean? And getting back to my point about earlier, women always used to be dealing with older men when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, that was the thing. Like, you pull up outside, a 17-year-old getting in the car with a 20-something-year-old because he's so-called mature. You know what I'm saying? But what makes it weirder now is the fact that that 21-year-old really has the mentality of a 13-year-old. So it ain't about game. That 21-year-old that acts like a 13-year-old, he's a real creep. And he will kill you because he's a creep. I don't know.
Real life situations, man. You bring up an excellent point. That's something I haven't thought about. The culture of the education system, not even the system, but just individual people not wanting to advance their learning, their comprehension, not wanting to read, not wanting to. A lot of these kids are just, they smoking weed early. They ready to drop out in middle school. They're like, I'm just floating through, man. If I can just get out of here. And then they in society now, and here it is. Like you said, they 23 with the mind of a 15-year-old, which is why they with a 17-year-old, because that maturity level, man. And so that's a great point, man. We just got to do better. It starts with every person just wanting to be better. But man, yeah, my internet is continuing to rock and roll. So we're gonna wrap it up. If you got any closing remarks, man.
Man, we're gonna take the key points of this and we're gonna put them in a small tag so everybody can understand what we're saying, man. Each one teach one, man. Get in the ears of these babies. Get in the ear, even these boys. Get in the ears of these boys too, man. Have real dialogue, real conversation. Let them know that they are loved, and you have to understand your surroundings, because people are not always what you think they can be for you, especially if you're around kids. There's not a lot of 100 old heads out here no more. You know what I mean? So you have to prepare yourself to every situation that pops up, man. So each one teach one, man. Stay the course, as we talked about earlier. Keep your head on the swivel and learn how to pivot, step in life. Those are my words, young.
Yep. Protect yourself, protect your family. Across, man. Yeah. Hey, thanks for rocking with another episode of Mask Off, episode 183. I didn't even put the title up there. Okay. I knew something was missing. Not again. Episode 183, not again. So appreciate everybody rocking with us. Tuning in and tapped in. Next week, God willing, we'll be back, and my internet will be solidified, because this can't happen again, man. But we love y'all, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and tapping in as always. Here at Mask Off, we love y'all, man. Peace.